Well, Hamdah Salhut joins us now from occupied East Jerusalem. And Hamdah, that's just to recap, we know that more Israeli airstrikes are going on right across Gaza. Take us through the carnage.
Several different areas of Gaza being hit by relentless Israeli bombardment at this hour. Let's begin in the south, in the territory's second largest city of Khan Younis, where at least 7 Palestinians have been killed there, as the bombings have now reached the vicinity of the Nasser Hospital and medical complex. Health authorities are saying that there are a number of injuries who are arriving at the medical facilities, and a lot of them are children. Additionally, in Rafah in the south, where hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have been forced to flee to, some of them multiple times. They were told that that was a safe area by the Israeli army, despite the relentless attacks that have been going on there since the announcement that it was a, quote, safe zone. Continuous Israeli air raids in that part of the territory as well. Several deaths reported and a number of injured arriving at the Al-Kuwaiti hospital in Rafah. Let's move to the central part of Gaza now, to the refugee camps. We're talking about Maghazi, Bureij, among others. And remember that Maghazi, just more than 24 hours ago, 100 Palestinians were killed, at least 100 Palestinians killed there in Israeli airstrikes last night, and a number of injuries there as the relentless bombardment and artillery from the military continues. People in Gaza continuously tell us that there is no safe place for them. And the Israeli army says that they're going to continue this military campaign via land, air, and sea, despite the catastrophic and dire humanitarian situation that has unfolded, that has now killed more than 21,000 Palestinians. The injured are nearing 55,000, and not to mention the thousands who are still missing and feared dead, who are trapped under the rubble. Sammy?
Hamdah, stay with us there for a second. We're going to come back to you, but you've been covering news for us out of the occupied West Bank too. That's where the Israeli military is continuing its nightly raids. Let's just bring you some pictures in from Tulkarm, where several incursions are taking place. Forces surrounded the Nur Shams refugee camp, sealing off all entrances. Raids are also taking place in other parts of the West Bank, with reports of arrests. So Hamdah, also reports of wounded people waiting for ambulances in Tulkarm. Are they getting through?
The Israeli army has prevented medical staff and ambulances from reaching wounded Palestinians in the Nur Shams refugee camp in Tulkarm. There are several raids going on across the occupied West Bank this evening, but let's begin in Nur Shams, where the largest of the Israeli military operations is still taking place at this hour. Israeli forces have completely surrounded the refugee camp, as locals say internet and comms have been completely stopped. Israeli bulldozers and other military vehicles seen ripping up the streets on their way into the refugee camp, surrounding the houses and raiding the homes of wanted Palestinian fighters. Fierce clashes and sounds of explosions still ongoing, and several arrests reported there. We're following an additional raid in the Tulkarm refugee camp, but that's not all. There are raids in Bethlehem, in the outskirts of Ramallah, in Hebron, in Tubas, just to name a few. In Hebron, you're looking at least 15 arrests. In Bethlehem, 2 arrests, both of them women. This is a continuation of Israel's campaign to crack down on Palestinian armed resistance across the occupied West Bank. Since October the 7th, these near nightly raids have intensified. You're looking at several thousand Palestinians who have been arrested in the occupied West Bank alone, and 303 Palestinians killed. Before October the 7th, it was already the deadliest year on record for Palestinians in the occupied territories, at 511 killed since the beginning of the year. Sammy?
Thank you so much, Hamdah there.